Why do we not discuss it as a community? Why do we not talk about men's mental health?
I think we do.
I don't think we
Not
do at all.
enough. We do, but not
I mean, the
enough.
thing about it is that, okay, so how many conversations has been like this? It's been a million conversations of people getting on podcasts worried about men's mental health. Men need to worry about their own mental health. And that's the thing. Like, I think that is the issue. Like, we could talk about it all we want. It's like, and we can like make it public, bro. Like, just go get a therapist. Like, that's literally what I had to go do. Nobody had to, like, I mean, granted, I was in a psych ward, but it's like, okay, cool. But still, like, you need to go get a therapist. Like, we're living in 2026 right now.
Right.
We seen people shoot up schools, stuff like that. You know, the mind is important as every other organ at this point. Go get a therapist.
And you say, like, we talk about it, other podcasts talk about it.
Everybody talk about it.
But them young kids them 22, 23-year-olds, they not watching
No,
podcasts.
because the
But
issue
that
is
not here.
But that
They
one,
not-
that one, no
Where they
young,
getting
that
that
one, no.
information from?
What's happening? Nobody cares about men's mental health. I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna say, in my opinion, some reasons why. Um, Productive men probably need it the most, but truth is, they're out here producing for their families, or as a responsible adult taking care of themselves. So they don't have the time generally, you know. So that's a thing. Like, you don't have the time to even be concerned about your mental health. And um, another thing is, I think we need to separate who actually needs help and who actually uses mental, who actually needs like therapy, from somebody who just is using therapy or the need for therapy as an excuse. I think that's part of the issue too, because in my opinion, there are so many people that talk about something's wrong with their mental health, but they're doing a whole lot of other stuff that, like, doesn't add up with them needing help. I'm gonna say that. One of the other things, and even with in the dynamic of men and women, I don't think women care about men's mental health. They, you know, and the way it's been going, it looks like, in generally, and at least on social media, but I can't even just say on social media, but because women meet men and have this thing where, since he's a man, he can do something to better my life. So they don't, like, women don't care about what we need to do for ourselves more than what they want, or quote unquote need us to do for them. I don't think, I think they're selfish like that. So I don't think women care about men's mental health, because men get cut off very quickly when he can't be a provider anymore. If he's not making her life easy, or being the breadwinner, he got to go. Like, the switch up is real quick. Uh, the other thing, I think society in itself is set up in a way that it messes with your quote unquote mental health. They're not Society isn't set up to bring peace in men's life. Men are designed to bring peace to everybody else, but you know, the society isn't designed to bring peace to us. We got to buy our peace. We got to work for our peace. We got to find success to the point where we can have free time to enjoy our quote unquote peace. We got to make our peace, and without outside help. So that's a whole nother thing. So a lot of times we're alone in this world, even when even when you got a group of guys and they good friends, they're cool. At the end of the day, you're still gonna be alone, you know, because there's certain things you just can't, you can or you won't um, ask for help with. So that's a whole nother thing. Um, I just did a video about drugs and alcohol. I think the drugs and alcohol affect mental health to the point where you see some people drive themselves crazy. I saw something recently where, like with kids, weed, marijuana rather, has become a drug that makes people basically psychotic. It throws your brain chemicals off balance, and I think that's part of the need of quote unquote mental health is drugs impacted your brain, just in my opinion. The other thing is this. I think I think the mental health thing is a problem because I think people have taken the easy way out in life and it made their life harder and they mentally cracked. And I say it's kind of like, it reminds me of going to college, right? You had people from college to young adulthood, is what I'm going to say. You had people who or were their actual mental issue was they were fighting with the concept of actually them transitioning from a teenager to an adult. And for some people, that process is short, and for some people, that process was long. And I've seen people mentally kind of not even just check out, but sabotage their life. And then the stress of that, is I need therapy. And it's like, you just need to grow up. If you can accept being an adult, because you have people who go, I'm grown. Like, like, you finally grown. And it's like, okay, you grown then. Be grown. And it's like, oh, I ain't know this is what being grown was. I don't want this part of it. I want to be a kid again. It's like, nah, ain't no turning back, G. So I think that's a thing that affects people's mental health too. So, and I could say family courts if you have kids, definitely, but the courts don't care. All the court care about, you got that money. You got that money. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care. I don't care. You think about taking your life. Well, get that money first. Get that money, and then we can talk about you taking your life. It's like that. Um, and then and I'm gonna say this, because I've been seeing stories lately of guys like just offing their ex girlfriends, or just snapping over dumb stuff. In my opinion, honestly, some of y'all need to get fucked up. Sometimes it's not a mental health issue. Sometimes you're out here being destructive because you know um, you got too much time on your hands because you didn't have a vision for your life. So now you know you become clingy and self-destructive and destructive to other people because you don't have a direction. And then it's like, I got a mental health issue. It's like, no, you got a laziness issue, G. You don't want to. You don't want to admit that. Like some people say, like I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. It's like fine, but to be an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to work harder than a person on a 9 to 5 generally. So in the beginning, at least, and then people go, they don't have the work ethic to be what they want to be. I want to be this. I want to be that. I'm going to do this. And you have people who actually genuinely give it a real try. They give it 100% effort, and it doesn't work out, and they figure something else out. Then you have the people who something happened and it messed that up, and they figure something else out. Then you have the people who just, you know, they never they tried something, it failed, and then they just like, okay, I just quit at life. And then it's like, I need help to get through this. And it's like, bro, that really wasn't a traumatic experience. That's something that, you fell down. Now you got to get up and keep pushing. But some people need therapy for that. I don't know why, but they do. But America isn't, the world isn't um, keen on worrying about men's mental health. You know, and to some degree, with some people, I think mental health is a luxury. Just in my opinion, is you know, and I'm like, because I think some people haven't been through anything, and then they hit some adversity, and they mind cracks. And then some people, like I said, you didn't really put the work in your youth to make a good life, and now the weight of being an adult is crushing you, and your mind cracks. And some of y'all are on drugs, your mind cracks. I said that, but it's just the mental health thing is not gonna. It's not gonna. Nobody's gonna care. Is what I'm gonna say. Nobody's gonna care. Because I don't think people look at it as. I don't think most people are genuinely have a mental issue. And I've seen people do this, do all the things I'm talking about. I've seen people like I got a plan in my life, and then your plan fails, and then now you just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and then you go crazy because you ain't doing nothing because all you wanted to do was this one thing, but you didn't want to make it happen in spite of. So you lose it. But I'm gonna leave it at that, man. You just tell me what you think. Catch you on the next one. I might have been harsh, but hey, peace.